Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime right now, bringing you nothing but the best of Apex Legends tournaments from Court Battle League. Very excited today. We got some good old fashioned players are in it, and we got some brand new ones as well. So it should be an exciting day of nonstop action. We're gonna have 4 games today. Highest score wins. The platform and setup. You can bet that these guys are going to be pushing the limits, and we got some top tier teams that I can already tell you about in a second who've already been in the finals and possibly almost winning it all. So get ready, get rolling. I hope y'all enjoying your day. It's about to go down on this Sunday. Here we are. The intro begins. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Core Battle League giving you nothing but the best of Apex. I'm super excited because this is my organization. I've been really working hard on this, and we're just warming up with the qualifiers for the rest of March. You can sign up and play with us. Well, not with me personally, I'll be casting, but you can sign up and play with these players. There's top players in the world. There's brand new players signing up, some brave souls going against these top guys. And it's awesome because it's a mix for the community. That's something I like to offer, something for the community. And I'm excited about that. Before we go any further, just to break it all the way down, the qualifiers will allow you to advance into the majors. From the majors, you can go to the championships. All of this will happen in the span of 2 months. We have March for qualifiers. Every single week we have events. Then we have April, where the majors and the championships will happen, and it'll be something special. Super excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. Apex has been really kicking off some things with a new legend, new weapon, and new everything every single season. And we'll talk about that during the action, but that's going to be a fun time to discuss it while we watch these players possibly use the new legend and things like that. So should be interesting. The dynamic of being able to switch it up and throw people off with your playstyle. So that's what's going down. We're going to get right into the games, and I got a special guest too. So get ready for us. It should be a really good time. I am very excited. And ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get it going. Thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, just a quick reminder, make sure you like, subscribe, share this. We need the support. We want to build this up and get a partnership on the social media platforms, and then give you guys a lot of prizes, a lot of partnerships, a bunch of sponsorships and things like that. We've had a lot of players get signed off of our tournaments. We've hosted hundreds already in the last couple months that we started this the middle of last year, and then continued all the way till now. And we hope to continue to do that. We've had the world champions of the ALGS finals in America play in our events, and in other countries play in our events, competing against some of these players. These players outperform them at times. It's been an interesting time just watching. And tonight, a little more mixture in there for you guys to enjoy with me today. So it should be a good day, and let's go ahead and talk to a special guest, Mr. B-Rad, aka I Am Bread. What's going on?
What's going on, Mag? It's great to be here. Great to be back doing these tournaments. I'm super stoked for these teams.
Definitely. I had you on before, and you've done a great job. So tonight will be fun to have you. But speaking of having you, how are you having the new season of Apex while we're getting ready for the match starting in a couple seconds?
I'm doing good. I've really been adapting and looking at some of the changes that they did to Olympus this season. So that's super new, super different, super fun. Very excited to have those changes. Me personally, I just got to Plat 4 the other day, so I'm super stoked because I still have time to get the diamond, compete in those high tier lobbies. So I'm very, very excited for this season.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's get it going, guys. Right into game number 1. No more talk. Me and B-Rad will be here getting it going for the games and talking about the season. B-Rad, for me, I just heard something that the devs suggested, that Gibby's pick rate needs to get a little higher. So does that mean we're getting a buff? These are speculations, of course, but you know, this is a conversation that the devs have, trying to figure out what's best for the community. I mean, in these competitions, in any type of professional setting, Gibby is the most picked legend ever. But in a casual space, he's not as popular. So that's a little odd compared to what we see in these tournaments, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's very interesting that the devs brought it to the attention of the public that Gibby, just playing through a regular player base, doesn't get a lot of pick rate and momentum, and I honestly don't know why, because he has that fortified reduced damage passive. He's got the bubble that's super nice to have in tight situations. The ultimate to be able to contest people out in the open or on top of buildings. I understand that a lot of the casual player base doesn't think at a same level that the competitive players do, but it is still factors for those players that play in ranked.
Agreed. Talking about that, we're looking right now at L5, a brand new team. It just got taken out, and there's still a lot of good things happening here. As you can see, Low getting shot, trying to figure out where he's getting hit. He goes down, and my oh man, look at this. What a name. Free Palestine right now are trying their best to make a move on the action. A beautiful slide here, and again, that EVA 8 classic shotgun looking good, Rad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to adapt to the EVA when they don't have a shotgun bolt. I'm still working on that adaptation with it. I still have a hard time with it myself sometimes. I'm more of a Peacekeeper kind of guy, like we see Pollinator here carrying the R9 Peacekeeper combo, which is one of my favorite combos, especially when it comes to close quarter combat.
Right. I honestly, I'm going to say it out loud. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm going to go on a rant, but the EVA 8 was broken for so many years, for so long. You know, they need to keep nerfing it and making these other weapons like the Peacekeeper and Mastiff more reasonable, which I think they have been doing a little justice to some of these situations, and they're trying to balance it. But enough about balancing. Let's see what's going on, because right now we got KOD down to their last player, and this right here is one of the top teams that we've had in previous championships. They were finalists in the finals, and they really showcased some good stuff, and they had really great presentation as far as professionalism and bringing us top tier stuff. So I really love that about them. And I want to take a minute just to say hello to the chat. I appreciate you guys. There is a couple minutes delay, so we don't want players to, you know, panic here. We can't react to your comments right away. We'll try to keep up a little bit, but there is a delay. Joining late isn't a thing that we're trying to do right now. We should, but we want to try to teach players to be professional. The point of everything I'm doing is all about professionalism and getting these players ready, or giving them the practice so that they can compete in the ALGS. A lot of players that want that practice come to my events and just run in here to get some scrims in, to get their practice in as well, while we're running the official Legacy series so they can make it into the championship in our events. So that's what's going down with that. Feel free to sign up. We're going to post up the new event literally tonight, right after this game. It goes up, so be ready for that. Should be up right after the event ends, so stay tuned. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and move over, because we don't see anything happening here. We're going to check on all of these teams, 13 teams still right now. And we're looking to see at a brand new team Never seen them before. BRHS, and they have an Ashe. I really like Ashe. I feel she's awesome. What do you think about that, Brad?
Yeah, Ashe has been really interesting picks I've seen in games. A lot of teams are starting to use Ashe in replace of Wraith, and a part of me looking at how her mechanic and her kit looks, believe that is due to her tether, being able to engage and trap people down. If you crack someone and they're behind a container and you just want to push them but don't want them to be leaving, you can throw that Ashe Q, make sure you hit them with the tether, it tethers them in the spot, and that's just a free push on one player. As long as they're singled out, you should be able to go and successfully get a push on that Meg.
Definitely, definitely. And I think she's fun. She's very fun. They're also going to buff her as well. So that's the word around town. I don't want to kind of give all the news out here today. It's like a news channel all of a sudden. But she will be getting somewhat of a possible buff in some way. So that'll be interesting. I mean, there's all ideas thrown around. It takes a lot of time and effort to officially do something. But I like the devs being a little more transparent and speaking about what they're thinking and what they're feeling. And, you know, pick rate and win rate is how they decide what's primary focus. So I'm interested to see what's next. Speaking of what's next, let's stick to this action. I hope y'all enjoying the day. Hope y'all enjoying the event. Let's see what we got going on. So Raven Academy, this is an interesting thing. Raven Academy fighting right now. Their first performance was very good. And these guys are actually like the guys that are just coming into Raven and they're new to Raven. Raven has a big organization group and they have a bunch of different teams. And this is the entry team, your recruitment team. And right now, last time they played, they performed extremely well. So it'll be interesting to see how they do going forward. And what do you think about this Raven organization, Rad?
I think that, you know, having all these separate teams and they're kind of competing against each other is kind of makes them want to outperform each other. It gives them that inner organization tether to really challenge each other's play style. Now, with Raven being under Raven Spotlight, I believe he's got his main team going into ALGS Open Qualifiers event from what I saw on Twitter from last that I knew. So I'm very excited to see what all these teams bring to the table, and who knows, maybe we'll see some more Raven in the ALGS in the future.
100%. I've seen a bunch of teams that were in our events just starting out get into the ALGS, make it to the finals, you know, and one of the team's players got signed and won the finals in the ALGS. And there's so much more. Also, there's just organizations picking up players and things like that happens. There's been casters who end up getting signed to an organization to cast officially for events, and things like that has happened all through these events. And while, you know, we might not have millions of viewers, we get a couple thousand at times, we get hundreds for sure. And I appreciate everybody's support. But in the end of the day, you know, we try to give all these players a home. So it's important. This is pretty cool that Raven got a team called Academy, which is pretty much them getting recruited in. So should see what happens there. And now we're looking at a brand new team here, Mike OX. And I'm kind of interested in this team because we see an old veteran who played in our original first series ever. And now he is back, and he's called Covert Ops, as you can see here.
Yeah, and absolutely. Covert, he's put together an amazing team. Their comp looks really well. They got a lot of movement ready to go. They're looking to kind of just start making their way, keeping building, keeping coverage, always smart. It's great to see Covert coming back and just competing in these tournaments because he's a solid player, so I'm very excited to see how he is with his team. And he's got so much knowledge. He knows how to use so many players. I mean, see him playing Valkyrie here and using those passive abilities off these balloons and off the flying, getting those tags on the team there on that chokehold. So we might see some action here coming from Mike.
Definitely going to see some action. This guy right here is super aggressive, just so everybody knows. He's a nonstop action. When I played with him, I like to play with the players every once in a while when I can. And these guys, you know, some players are just so zoned in that they will rush towards action, you know, in lightning speed with so much confidence. And I'm trailing behind, and I'm running to catch up. That's how fast they are to get into the action. But that's when we're just having fun. But then when you see them in a competitive state, they're playing cautious, tactical, making sure they have the advantage when they attack, and they're not just forcing fights and things like that. So it's always interesting to see those opposite sides. I love casual play, but the competitive side is always the best because it just, you know, it takes true skill to be at that level.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very excited to watch these teams. And speaking of watching some teams, I think we've got Siren coming in now on the choke point outside of Geyser on the edge of Reen, looking at a team down below. They do have height advantage, so this will be a very interesting take. But we do see that Ash tactical going out, trying to get shot tether, but they do close the tower down on the bottom.
Now we're watching that action happen right at this moment. And yes, Siren is actually an older team who were called the Envy, and they moved on, and now they have their own crew here, and they've been doing real good. It's been fun to see these players. It was an all-female team, and they did a really cool job performing. I mean, it was top team every single event when they were competing in last series events, and it was interesting because I was calling them dudes, but they were females. And then they told me, hey, by the way, after like 5 events, by the way, we're all females. It's like, oh my, all right, my bad. I should get to know you guys. Apologies. And now we're going to see what they can do today with their new name and a new swagger to them with a new player called Name Blank. We'll see what that's about.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see that they're going to be playing this building here in what a lot of the Apex community is called No Name. And I think we're going to start to see some beacon plays here on possibly. I don't think they have any recon. No, they do not have any recon. So they're just going to guard the beacon, making sure no one's going to come up and try and take this and get, you know, free information.
Is this like a passive aggressive thing? Like, think about it. Like, you can't scan the beacon, but you want to stay on top of it. Like, you want this? Come get it. Come get it. I'm right here.
Then was like baiting and wiggling in front of like hunting down food, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So there's 7 teams. The round 3 right now, and less than 50 seconds to go on this game, and we're looking pretty good for some teams as we watch BRHS checking out who is above, and they actually spotted somebody. They might get some shots up. Smart move not to shoot from that long distance if you're not with the sniper or something they can really hit. It's not worth it all the time. So looks like they're gonna back off, play cautious here, and I honestly like what they're thinking. If you can see, Brad, I believe that they're going to be gating the team off here. In the last 10 seconds about to start kicking off when the ring starts closing. Teams have to push up. This is a choke point, and they're going to have to rotate around the map unless they want the fight. So this could get interesting if they stay here. And I think it's a debate because 2 other players are backing off while one is trying to push forward. And so far, here it is. They're going to hold this choke point, and this is what you want to do. Keep people gated. And it's a different terminology. What word would you call that? B-Rad. I guess he not here anymore. Well, I call it gated.
That. Hello? We're good.
They're gating them off right now, and they're going to keep them off this choke point. And if they do this right, they should be all set. But it's going to take a long time because the ring isn't closing for a while, and it's going to probably close the other way north. towards the beacon. Nope, it closes right where they're at. So it's not a great spot, but they have the advantage against the team trying to come up. Doesn't look like they're going to keep it, though.
Yeah, no, BRH is really looking at this team now down the hill, trying to see if what's going to happen, but they seem to get a Kraber shot on an enemy Gibraltar that's down bottom, down towards the hill, and now they have full advantage to watch this fight, pick off some free shots, because there's minimal coverage down here other than those big rocks in that building. It's either going to be a fight for the building, but BRHS is going to go ahead and get pushed from behind.
Beautiful stuff here by 10K taking over right now. 10K killer in the finals just recently when we had the ending of the series, and now they are back trying to win a qualifier to get into the majors. And man, oh man, that was a perfectly clean wipe right there to push, and now they're going to finish it off by taking out another team. Good job here so far. Look at this, Mastiff hits perfectly done, and he's going to rotate around, not heal. This is good to pay attention to. There you go, all done. 10K sitting there on 50K right now with the way they are playing. Man, B-Rad, you talk about greatness.
Yeah, these guys really played that fight well, knowing that that team was on that mountain, waiting for the right time to push them and force them down into another fight so they could just come up and clean both teams from these fights up. It is great. Such great massive shots, too, by Della. I have never been able to get my massive shots to hit like that. So to see the skill that these teams have with these mastiffs that some people may struggle with is just absolutely amazing to see.
I agree with that. And on top of that, they're on PlayStation, all three of them. And guess what? They have 13 kills, the top kill leader, and 13 kills in this one match. So you talk about greatness, and it's not over. There's still 4 teams, and now they're going to push another team. They get flanked, though. Oh, man, and he's beaming right there. Beautiful shots with the Hemlock. It's been a while since I've seen a Hemlock around. And that is a Team Academy right now. They're going to be surviving that situation with one of their players going down, but they're going to have to find a way to back out, create a portal, and get out of there. One last player alive, and they are in deep waters. They're going to have to push as far as they can go, and using their tactical to stay there, try to see if they can heal their teammate in the process. And now they're most likely going to be getting pushed by 10K, doing a good job here. The Thermite's always great when you get someone down.
Absolutely, the Thermites are so big here towards the end with the zones being so small, so many different places that you can just angle the Thermite perfectly. Raven Academy getting wiped out there towards the end, so now it's up to 10K with the Kraber and is against Team Siren.
Team Siren pushing up, actually being aggressive as well. So this is it right here. You're gonna see 2 very alpha players, teams going head to head here, and we'll see who has the advantage. And I don't like where Siren is. They're in the dead center. No Gibby to protect them from an aerial strike or any type of aerial hits. And now they get themselves a quick portal. And let's see how this one works out. Great push to start off by Wraith. Name Blank trying to get some work in. Beautiful shots here with the R301 and Peacekeeper. Classic loadout. And doing a really good job. Name Blank just smart about getting aggressive, taking an angle, and forcing the team into a bad position.
Absolutely, and with that Wraith portal being there, they're being able to take that back and forth. Siren's going to keep trying to peek, get some free shots in, trying to weaken some of these players. And you see this Wraith pushing on this Gibby, that Gibby bubble, knocking the Gibby, so that's going to eliminate a possibility of an airstrike at the last possible second. So now this might just be Siren's fight, but 2 members from Siren going down is up to Envy. Can they take a 2v1? But no, 10K is going to go ahead and take game 1.
You talk about take it. They didn't take it. They conquered it. You understand what these guys just did, man. Oh man, what a first game we just had. You talk about greatness. That was incredible. 18 kills in the first game. So that right there already showcasing how great these guys are. We're going to watch it in a little bit of slow motion. I slow down just a little so you can check out some of the action on how this all played out. Right when Siren pushed in with their Wraith portal, now they are getting pushed by 10K, and 10K did a good job taking advantage of when this team separated. This is a big issue with a lot of teams. When they separate, they're vulnerable because one team can focus on one player. They'll call it out. Hey, go for Gibby. And this is what happened here. As you can see, Siren coming in very hot. And this was some great plays by Name Blank here with the Peacekeeper, showcasing it's still the best shotgun in the game, in my opinion. And just movement overall, every aspect was smooth as butter, but he was already down to his last health. He gets dropped, and then Electricic also gets dropped, and it's down to one last player. We didn't get to see that last part there, but 10K again, all game long, just going wild and really, really, really doing something special, in my opinion. And they're just warming up. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you guys for watching. We're just getting started. That's game 1 of 4. So there's 3 more left. I'm going to start the next one in just a few minutes. We have a special guest, Rad, doing commentary with me today. I'm always humbled and grateful to have guests on here. And we've had a first game that I consider a blowout. And that is what you want to see, because that just tells you these guys are primed for the big leagues. They're prepared, and we know this because we've seen them before. But if you're new here, you probably have not seen our finals or majors. You haven't seen this team go wild, but they are tons of videos on YouTube. You could check that out. I'm going to take a minute to pause all this and talk about a sponsorship that I have. Now, this is for my personal brand. This is for me. And something that I do on the side as far as streaming and content creating. And I got a partnership with HelloFresh. All right, they're not paying me to advertise them anymore, but my sponsorship could pay me. I need 20 more people to sign up and subscribe to, or use my link to get 16 free meals, free shipping, and some special surprise gifts with HelloFresh. The link is in the description. If you're watching this later, just go to my socials, check it out. Make sure you do that to show me some love and help this brand. This is all about building the brand and getting it going. Now I got Mad Gamer, who's myself, but we also got Core Battle League that we want to build, get guys like B-Rad officially on, and not just volunteering and hanging out the way I do, the way he does, and the way everybody's coming together to build the organization. So yeah, that out of the way, enough is enough. You do me the favor, help me continue build more sponsorship growth. That'd be awesome. But again, outside of that, we are legitimately in the mix going into game number 2. And B-Rad, what would you consider that you saw there? How do you feel about game number 2 coming up?
Yeah, game number 2 coming up is going to be very interesting. That we saw, we didn't see a lot of Gibbies in that game. I saw a lot of Ash, a lot of Valkyries, handful of Wraiths. So game number 2, seeing just how important those bubbles are in the late game, that might change here. Might force some teams to switch up their characters, their legends that they pick a little bit. We might see a little bit more Gibby, as you can just do a bit better plays, focus on those rotation and pushes in different spots. Right. Way better having that defense for the Gibby bubble.
Right. So looking at the scoreboards, you can check them out in the chat or in our Discord to see what the scores are right now. And man, oh man, what a lead 30 points on the board for 10K. That is insane. If we were playing match point, which I love to do, it would be more than halfway there already. So this team is on par to really kill it after these 4 games. We'll see who has the highest score. But I just like to say this is Battle Royale and it's Apex, and you got a lot of top players, professional players, some new regular players all jumping on board to stop the show. So can 10K survive their drop? Can they survive moving forward? We will see. I want to note that Siren, who was in second place on that game, has 13 points. So they're right there with him. And right underneath them, Mike OX also with 10 points. So you're talking about they're in striking distance. All of these teams can come back in one game, have themselves the same style of game, and really get the job done. It's very possible. It's anybody's game. There's never a limit to what a team can do. You never know what you can see, and you might be witnessing greatness. And what are you seeing this leaderboard here? What stands out for you, B-Rad?
What stands out to me the most right now is that every single one of the Raven teams are in the top 10. So they're getting points. So we're going to see some new teams coming up. Siren, having that knowledge of where everything was going to be, playing the way that they did. They played super safe. That solidified them that second place finish. So we'll see here if they can grab some more kills in the second game, play just as smart, and get their placements right to possibly kick 10K out of the first place spot coming in the game too.
Imagine they get 10K. That'll be the day.
No, that would definitely be the day for everyone in this lobby, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. So, speaking of that, man, my thing is in the competitive scene, just to talk about it for a second, shout out to Blowback Lady, who just had a big event, and you were hosting it there. And if nobody remembers, I tried to put her on and get her started with this because she was hosting events, but it wasn't private tournaments. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of my viewers were like, hey, this lady does some cool stuff, And I said, hey, I could try to help and get her going with some private stuff. She ends up getting it, and she's doing some amazing things. You guys should check her out for sure. Again, this isn't another advertisement. This is just a friendly support for another content creator who's getting going. And I don't know her personally. When I did that, it was more so just out of good faith, wanting, the community to enjoy and have great people host tournaments. So, B-Rat, you were there for that. And, I feel like you're doing casting. You might not take it serious now, but what if, somebody calls you up and says, hey, we're going to need you to do full time.
Yeah, that would definitely be the day that I look, evaluate some of the things with my life right now, and if it's I would definitely jump on it because casting is so much fun. You get to meet so many new people through the business in the community. You get to dig deep and be able to sit and talk to each and individual players and teams and really get to know all these players, how they play, how they all communicate and cooperate, and it's absolutely amazing to be able to make the friends that you do doing casting and everything, as well as we talked about, covert ops. You've said you've played with them. I've played against them when I did these tournaments as a player. So again, seeing him come back with the team is absolutely amazing, and having Raven Spotlight, having all these different teams, it's so great to be able to meet these guys and see what greatness they've done since then.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll be interesting to see, the new teams too. We have a lot of new guys, and it's always interesting because some of these guys are pro players just kind of casually jumping in, and they won't tell me, or maybe they do tell me and I don't tell you guys because we want to keep it all confidential. But yeah, it's always fun to see how it all goes. But thank you guys for tuning in. We're about to start this up in a second. Give us a couple seconds here, and then we'll be starting game number 2. Okay, folks, we're about to get started. It's game number 2 out of 4. It's going to be a short stream today on this. You know, there's a lot of great games that came out in February. March has a couple cool ones, and we're going to keep on playing games. But there's nothing like playing the best first-person shooter. There's been first-person shooters last year. I thought we're going to surpass Apex and, you know, Battlefield, for example. It didn't work out that way, which I was hoping it did, because I love to play all types of different games. I do like Battlefield, but they started off a little rough, some bugs and stuff like that. With all that out of the way, we're on year 3 of Apex. Until this day, I don't know what, if maybe I'm just a little fanboy here, but there's not a lot of first-person shooters that surpass it when it comes to like true fun and experience. You know, the movement is just top tier. Combat is incredible. It's just a good addictive time. I get on and then I look at the clock and it's 3 in the morning and I need to go to bed. And that's what I love about Apex. It's addictive. It's fun, tons of fun. And today we're seeing the competitive side, top players trying to make a name for themselves and take it to that next level. So I'm super excited about it. And game number 2 is about to be underway. My prediction is 10K will still be as strong as they are, but there'll be another team coming out saying, hey, you want to play tough? So can I. So I do believe you're going to see some people stepping up and really trying to turn it up another notch. So hopefully we get that, you know, or either way, I would love to see 10K also continue to perform. Anybody that does great is awesome time for me as a viewer and the caster. So speaking of a caster, we have the Loner team here, and they are going to be looking to get their start. It's going to be hot. And we're going to go and watch that right now as we go forward. Loners going ahead and loot up. In the beginning of the games, Rad for me, are all about just getting a color shield and one decent weapon at least. Right when I drop, that's all I need, and I'm willing to fight with anybody at all times. And speaking of fight, Loner's already in a fight, swapping shields, prepping for it, and it's gonna get real very soon. And I would prefer to group up here so that they won't get ambushed. And it looks like Wraith is gonna have to just get out and try to survive this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gibby, they're also just getting beamed and getting pushed now. We have our first scuffle. 2 players from Learners going down, Ravello and Kaizu. Kaizu going ahead, getting finished. And it is now up to a thick Gibby, which is the Octane, to come in, does some good damage, getting the knock on Milkshake, but does not get to finish the rest of the team. So Loners Us, unfortunately, will go down to 10K, who happened to win game 1.
Yes, and this is crazy because, like I said, they're gonna stay hot. When you got it, you got it. There's no need to hide it. You gotta keep pushing, keep being aggressive, play with that confidence. A lot of times I'll see a team play passive, and regardless of how good you are, playing passive is gonna get you hurt. And that's just how life works. Never mind this video game. You gotta get yours, do it, whatever it is you want to do. So 10K, props to them for starting off hot, but we're gonna switch it around and check in on some other teams. Vault, Rampage. There's some bugs with the Rampage that the devs are working on right now, and hopefully nobody gets banned for doing that. Nobody does it so they won't get banned. And right now, the Hidden Cloud, I like the name, they're cleaning up shop and they got it going right there. That's a pretty good come up there to wiping a team.
Yeah, and absolutely, and getting that Gibby back up as quick as possible is so crucial. You see here, it helps save them. I'm not sure about the Gibby bubble there, but it does solidify because you got both doorways exposed here, so it ended up being a safe play to be able to hit this Loba's market for free, get whatever heals or ammo that you need, stock up, because you can take unlimited ammo. It's amazing use of another team's ultimate ability when you don't have it yourself.
Definitely. I love me some Loba. First of all, her personality, you know, the way they designed her, of course, because I'm a Latin man, and it's true to Latina women, the way she kind of presents herself, but also just some women have her swagger, and I think that's pretty awesome. And female representation's important. I think we got to continue to add more heroes. For example, Haloy just came out, Horizon Forbidden West, one of my favorite games. Came out with Horizon Forbidden West instead of...
Absolutely, and talking about women representation, we have Team Siren here fighting against the team over in Harvester, and I believe this is Team 10K that they're fighting. That I don't think they ever got out of the area quick enough. So now we do have Team Siren, an all-female team competing in this tournament, showing up, showing what the world can do with number 1 and number 2 teams here fighting each other to try and take each other out of this game now.
Definitely. I like what I'm seeing by Sirens. They're playing aggressive. They have 10K backpedaling. Actually, that is Raven Clan that they took down. So they're battling Raven Clan. I'm not sure where 10K is, but they most likely are close and they can hear the shots. One thing I like to do is play it by ear. When I hear shots, I'm headed that way when I'm on the hunt. I like to try to be aggressive and score as much as possible. It's just the way I used to play when I was competitive in Apex. And, you know, scoring is important because you don't want to be behind the whole time during the matches. So speaking of during the matches, yep, 10K's right there. And they're coming in slowly. And I like what they're doing here. We're going to see the new legend in action. And they already were the kill leader for game number 1. And they're coming back with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're starting to see Mad Maggie get played a bit more nowadays, and people learning how to use her correctly in that tactical. So key in getting damage done through the wall once you start to get a feel for how armor is going to go for the other team. Popping that tactical through the wall, dealing damage, stopping any reses if possible is so key and it is amazing to see these teams play Maggie this way.
For sure. I love me some Maggie. She's super aggressive. It's a fun play style. And if you use her correctly, like if you can, in the moments, in certain situations, she can be the most critical. You know, when someone's trying to get behind cover to revive somebody or heal, she pops that amazing ability. It's gonna really change the game. So we'll see what happens. These guys already showcased their top dogs, so we're gonna rotate around and check in on some other teams and see what we got going on. UDC, a new team here that I've never heard of, but I appreciate them coming by and trying to set up shop and make a name for themselves and get into these qualifiers.
R301 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at all these teams and seeing so many new teams getting into tournaments, it really showcases each individual player's skill and talent to be able to come in and run with so many of these teams. And like you've talked about before, we've had teams come through these tournaments and end up going into ALGS games, ALGS qualifiers and finals, and even ended up winning. And I think one of those teams, or at least a few of those players, ended up getting signed on to Kangana after that. So being able to see amazing things come out of these tournaments, it's good to see all these new teams come in and start making names for themselves.
Definitely, I agree with that. And yeah, it was a team. I can't say their name right, so I don't think I want to butcher it. But yeah, Team that's what I call them. But they definitely were there, and they won the American League. And you know, this is a team who shared their story with us, which was publicly, by the way. So I'm not saying anything news, but one of their players was about to be homeless, and you know, they end up winning the championship, winning thousands upon thousands of dollars, life-changing situation. You know, and it was emotional to hear, but it also was a reminder of the hard work that I do and other event hosters to try to give people platforms. You know, entertainment is platform for joy, for excitement, for inspiration and growth. So even now, as we watch this, guys, you're seeing teams build their confidence. You're seeing teams get the experience they need. You're seeing teams understand what competition is like compared to playing casually. They're understanding, you know, other things. There's so many levels. You don't know what's going on in a person's life, but we definitely provide a service to the world. And not to toot my own horn, but it's many organizations that do that. So super blessed to have all these players, top players, some great people. You know, you never know. There might be a dev or two in here playing with us. You know, it happens, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you were stating here, 10K going ahead and fighting all of these teams here, they pushed in on UDC and then ended up taking the building away and eliminating UDC from out of here. And now they take this building and fight Raven Outlaws and completely just wipe them out. So just seeing this confidence come and build from all of these players, it's really key when you're wanting to take these buildings and getting through this game. Confidence is so big, and it can help improve not only just like the game sense, but the way you play the game yourself. And it really makes you fine tune your movement, the way you play, and you obviously here we see it helps in tournaments so much. It's so key to have confidence.
Yes, it is. Talk about confidence. It seems like we're having a show of Siren and 10K, because now Siren's in the action. If it's not 10K, it's Siren. Both of these guys just going back and forth, fighting other teams and consistently being there. Now we try to keep it in the action, guys. So right now we're watching Siren push a team and see where they're going with that. Hopefully we get some more action from these guys. They've been very good overall with the way they play, and I'm interested to see how far they could take it.
Absolutely. And here, you know, seeing Siren, they're hearing all of these shots and seeing all of these teams rotating away trying to beat the zone, so they're just going to go ahead and use what movement and spots that they have to just get all this free shots, all this free damage on these teams that have their backs turned to them. And you see the Ash portal going up to the top of the building, getting that high ground, making sure that they don't have anyone else to really worry about other than what the teams stay behind the teams, get as much damage, get these kills as they rotate.
Beautiful stuff here, and man, oh man, it's all about that action. For me personally, I love it when teams are super aggressive. You know, just from a viewer standpoint, competitively, as a host, I love to see the teams who are sitting there, making sure they're hitting a beacon, making sure they're in the ring at a great position. That showcase high level quality, but it's nothing like some fun and some action. So. We definitely encourage teams to build and grow that type of confidence as well when you're playing out there.
Absolutely is such a great thing to see all these teams. And we're going to probably see some of these teams, you know, they start to get more comfortable, more familiar with things, and they're going to get more confident as we go, I think. But some of these teams, like Siren here, getting all these shots and the damage fighting these teams, they really do present that they have the confidence.
Yeah, speaking of confidence, I'm liking this R301. They got a RE45. That thing can slap. You never know what you could do with RE45, baby. I love that thing sometimes. And man, oh man, you know, you talk about new weapons coming in the near future. There's something exciting coming when it comes to weapons in the future. But I do believe that, you know, we'll get some other things. We've already have news on what's coming. We'll talk about that at the end of the stream. But there's tons of future updates along the way. But let's just take a quick look to see what these guys, they're busy right now, but it's mostly, you know, just popping a couple shots, hoping to get some damage in. And man, oh man, both these teams are aggressive. Only 6 teams left. And Siren, name blank, having to rotate back up to the top with his teammates. He was all alone. And now they're going to go ahead and start pushing together.
And absolutely, and Siren pushing together, trying to finish off this race, who happens to be Menace Milkshake from 10K. So this is the top 2 teams here fighting in this area, trying to just take each other out, get these points, and making sure that they don't pull any further ahead than what they need to. But 10K is trying to disengage, and Siren is just getting this confidence, pushing now that there's 2 down on 10K. That they're just gonna go ahead and try and push for this last player, get these free points, make sure that the painters don't get grabbed. And
Yeah,
wow,
it's just good stuff from Siren, and we're gonna rotate around and check in on a brand new team here who's down a player. BRHS are trying to take a lead here and get some points on the board. They have 3 at the moment, and now they're going to be trying to go ahead and do something. And they got to be aggressive. In my opinion, placement isn't enough, especially when you're down big from the first game. You know, 2 players is enough to wipe a team. You just got to have the right angle, surprise attack or something, and do what you can. And right now they got a Mirage, which is very interesting for competitive scenes. I would like to know the pick rate for Mirage.
it's pretty low from my understanding. I think it's probably less than 5% overall in competitive play.
0.5% in competitive. Come on, man.
Man.
I love Mirage. I give him a hard time all the time, but you gotta appreciate his storyline. Actually, I'm really into the Apex storyline. There's so many details. I don't want to spend the lore day today on the stream, but one day I'll probably go through that and kind of break it down for you guys in a stream one day. Check this out right here. Beautiful beams happening right now by Siren. Again, super aggressive. Like I told you guys, this is going to change the game. You're going to be able to get a bigger lead. You're going to be able to stay in the fight regardless of who gets first place. You're going to be right there with them because you're scoring consistently, and that's what you want. And Siren, you know, I told you these girls have been very professional, showing up consistently, showing up on time, handling whatever requests my organization asks about the players. You know, some players just don't have that in them, right? But these team already does, and I believe they're polished for the big league, and they just got to build that chemistry to really start slaughtering some folks and take it to that next level.
Yeah, absolutely, because you really don't see too many female teams competing in a competitive format. So seeing these girls come in and just absolutely taking things the way that they are really does showcase what everyone is just capable of. As long as you put in the work, get that chemistry, it's truly amazing, Mag, to see.
For sure. I would like to rotate around and see who they have. We're gonna do a third person view for a second here, so we can check in on everybody and where they are located. You're seeing Siren actually has a decent spot, but the ring is starting to close on them. They're gonna have to rotate. They got to be very careful. Right next door to them, where they're going, they have an old player of ours, Covert, coming back in the flesh, and it looks like they're gonna have to fall back here. And now we're down to 3 teams. As you can see, this love triangle right now, who's gonna be the first to push and who's gonna be the one to do the third party. And I'm loving what I'm seeing. Let's get an actual view of what's happening. It's Siren beaming from far, not downing anybody, but definitely getting some shots and some damage.
Absolutely, shooting down with those 301s and seeing that these players are taking the 301 with the 3x. It's such a great sight for this gun, because if you can fine tune your aiming and get that ADS down, that 3 times just really allows you to see everything clearly, and you can just get laser beams for damage, maybe get some knocks. It's such a great accessory for this gun, and a lot of people I see, you know, they're running 2 to 4 times. They prefer 2-time bruisers, 2 to 4 times scopes. But me personally, that 3x is just really what makes the 301 its peak.
Got you. And talking about peak right now, Siren deciding to push deep left. They're gonna try to push this team. They realize they smell blood in the water. It's like sharks smelling blood in the water. They're going for it, and they can feel it. And there it goes. It starts right there. They are being very careful about the push, but they definitely want to do it. And they know there's a third party push to their right in the east, so they got to be careful. And I like their rotations here. They continue to throw people off. They don't want to stay in one stagnant area and getting confused. And look at this. Right behind them, getting ambushed, and they're getting hit from both sides. Tough times right now for Team Side. Down to their last player. As FLG, a team we haven't talked much about. They had 5 points before this game, and now they're in the final last 3 teams, and they're doing a really good job taking out some players here. And here goes the push.
Yeah, and here we go. Absolutely, we see FLG and Team Mike OX just on the outside watching this happening, but FLG having to get the Bloodhound up is going to be key. But that Valkyrie going down, the Bloodhound getting finished, it's only up to the Gibby now. Who's it going to be? There's 2 solo members on either side for Siren and FLG, so now they really are going to have to just force and work together to try and get this team of 3 down, just dwindle it down to make it a more even fight for these 3 teams. But it's going to be interesting to see as we see Mike OX here on the more outside up the hill. So they have that height advantage, they have those angles, they've got the opportunities to just gate each of these solo members. So it's really still anybody's game though, as it comes down to this final zone, this final push.
Right now, we're looking at the shots being ran off by Slide. He's going in aggressive. Mike OX is definitely looking to finish this here. 3 teams left, but man, they have the advantage. They have the stronghold, and Gibby's fighting for his life, throwing his bubble, hoping to survive, and pushing himself back. But he's all alone, and they can smell the blood in the water. They're going to chase him down. Gibby trying to survive and does not. Mike OX puts the exclamation point on that grand finale, and great stuff there by Team Mike OX. And it's just the beginning, guys. We still have 2 more games to go, so make sure you stay tuned and rock with us. We appreciate everybody that's coming out and enjoying it. I am your host, Mad Gamer. We have a special guest that came by today, B-Rad, that you was hearing commentate, and we are legitimately seeing some great things happening here, and we got to be very careful with how this all goes in the near future. These teams are all prepared to win it all tonight, and if they do win, they go into the majors, so it's anybody's game. Very interesting time. With that out of the way, wanted to point out, you know, we have the Discord. You can sign up, you can join. This is all for free for everybody to play. We want casters, we want mods, we want to build this whole thing. And I haven't done recruiting officially, but definitely looking out. And if there's somebody out there that talked to me before about wanting to try, I might have forgot, because I get a lot of DMs. I literally get over 100 plus DMs a day, specifically on game event. I get sheesh. But before that, every day there's a bunch of group messages and messages that I get. I can't keep track of every single thing. So if you want to get on board, hit me up. And if you asked me before, hit me up and let's talk about it. It's starting to be open season. We want to build a team of casters, a team for this organization to be able to really run it down. But with that out of the way, there's these teams currently competing, and I like what I saw by a lot of these teams. And what I mean by that is you had some good action, and it wasn't all 10K, to be honest, even though they still performed well and they got decent numbers compared to what they did the first time. They set a high standard. And in this last game, they only scored 13 compared to 30. So they only got half of what they got. They're slowing down. That means the other teams are trying to catch up. But man, oh man, it's wild to say a team that scores 13 in a game that's them slowing down. So we'll see what happens with 10K. Right below them, which I'm going to showcase right now so you guys can see the actual leaderboards and see what's going down. Here we are, the leaderboards right in front of you. They're getting updated at the moment, so you're going to see some changes. And from there, we're going to see who has the lead. But at the moment, as you can see, the scores are being tallied up, and they should be good. And man, oh man, Siren right next door. But look who's knocking. Mike OX, who just finished dominating on that last one, has caught all the way back up. And if you remember, these teams have had low numbers the game before. So they found a way to come back, put in some work, and get the job done on game 2. And we're going to be going to game 3 very shortly. It's been a good run so far. Big props and respect to everybody playing. We appreciate you guys, and we'll continue to build from here. So we're going to be right back in a second with game number 3. Stay here. Microphone is back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is going to be game number 3, and the scores are officially set right now. We're looking at 10K with 43 points. That's double, almost double what the rest of the teams have here. That is pretty insane in my opinion, and I think that these teams got to eliminate them right away on drop. Of course, it's hard to tell who's who when they're dropping, but hey, get aggressive this game. Push the pace. Try to score big. Try to eliminate 10K. That is your main objective. Now, at the same time, you have teams like Siren and Mike who are right in striking distance to be able to catch back up to 10K. So they don't want to be too aggressive where they force themselves in a bad game. It's only 4 games. One mistake can change everything. So we will see what is going down right now. But it should be a good night. We're going to get started in just a minute. Be ready, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and the scores are in and they're looking all right to me. If you're seeing something interesting with some of the teams that we didn't really hear much about climbing up there, like FLG at the very end there, getting some points, and hopefully this next game we're going to have a lot more of that. We want the top tier style play, the best performances, everything that you can get. We don't want to settle for less. It's all about being the best. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Nothing counts unless you're the winner. Doesn't matter, right? This is a competitive scene. We here to take blood. We taking it all. We taking your soul. Sorry, that's my speech. That's my TED talk for you guys. Hopefully this next game goes well. We'll see what happens as we go forward. Tons and tons of action. We are in for a treat for game number 3. And that means 3 for those that don't know. Should be interesting. Any words or any thoughts there, B-Rad, on this last game and the new game coming up?
Yeah, seeing FLG really climb the board there, that was such a big game for them, and, you know, kudos to the Gibby Go6, man. Surviving to the last second to keep that second place, placement alive. Such a great idea to get out of the corner there he was in, get more on the open. He was aware that the other team, Mike OX, was just pushing down the hill, so he went ahead, took the advantage, and just swooped up back up the hill to get that second place finish.
I agree, and that's what it's all about, man. Strategic, smart decision making. Those are where the top players are. So you have some guys that are good mechanically, and that's a big part of the game. But if they can't have the game sense to survive, then you're in trouble. So talking about in trouble, game number 3 is in the building. We're on game number 3 right now, and it's looking good for Vault Rampage. We're gonna see what they can do coming up shortly right now, and I like their comp. This is more standard. We seen a Mirage earlier, but this is more standard for the competitive scene. We're checking out Team Vault here with a Gibby, Valkyrie, and a Bloodhound all together. bringing what we know and love right now. To me, Valkyrie is one of my favorite legends. Top 5, top 3. She's in there. She's just tons of fun to play. Very versatile. Has ability to be defensive and aggressive when necessary, and it's just fun, all around fun. But they have a great comp. They're currently sitting at 10 points in 7th place. You got to climb up that ladder and try to do some work. What are you seeing here, and your thoughts, B-Rad?
Yeah, you know, I see like Vault Rampage, you know, they changed up their comp just a little bit and grabbed that Gibby, and it goes back to, like I said, you know, Mag, it just goes to show you just how good Gibby is. You know, we've seen teams play, like, we're in game 3 now. The first 2 games, we started to see a little bit more Gibbies trickle into the lobby. So it definitely does seem to prove that Gibby is versatile and so useful in a tournament sense, and I really do hope that we see more of Gibby in casual play as well.
Definitely. I mean, the devs already just suggested that he needs a higher pick rate for, you know, standard public pick rates, and that's interesting. Like I told you guys, they look at the win percentages and the pick rates of the legends to see what they can buff, nerf, what is going to help the game to stay balanced. I think it's in a healthy place. I think they've done a good job to give us something special here where we can enjoy it drastically, you know. And anytime there's something a little buggy, something a little too overpowered, when Seer came out recently, you know, little things that happen that are not great yet, they try to find a balance for it, and that's what I like. I think it's necessary as a dev team to stay in touch with us. We're what matters. The game doesn't do anything. It wouldn't have lasted 3 years without us. So they've done a good job so far, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen. New game modes, you know, we'll see how it works. Control was cool. I liked Arena. And forget it, let's not even talk about that. We're seeing this push happen right now. Vault trying to get some shots up, and they're working good together here. But let's see how this plays out. And he's chasing her down right now, and this is some tough situation. He's gonna be by himself over here with his team's running up, and he gets it. Wow, great stuff by Team Vault.
Absolutely, and you see that their push here was just absolutely amazing. Knowing that the whole team was in that one corner, to be able to just throw those nades and get them out of that building, and just get them into a more vulnerable spot to go ahead and take them out. And now we see another team running up, getting involved here with Vault Rampage on even ground. And it'll be very interesting to see how everyone plays out. The Bloodhound already dropping down, but so does another 2 goes down. It is now a 1v1 scenario. Gibby v Gibby, and Barton just plays a better Gibby. That Gibby bubble res here is going to be so crucial to getting his teammates up so quick. Great shots all by Vault Rampage here.
Yes, they survived 2 situations, and the surviving is not enough. You're scoring pretty good here. You're doing some real serious work with 6 kills off the bat. That's 6 points that adds on to their 10 right now. So they're slowly climbing up. Of course, you want to stay this aggressive throughout the matches so you can win it all.
Absolutely. 100%. We said absolutely 100%, but we see here's Team Siren now fighting off of the railroad tracks. They are now engaged in a fight with a team. They are on the low ground, but it does seem that they've got angles and buildings to cover, and we're just going to see how things play out here as the other team might be looking to push up. Because the other team is shooting at them is 10K.
Yeah, 10K. That's crazy. The 2 top teams, as far as scores go, it's them 2 and Mike. All their surfing. Mike and Siren both have 28. And then you have 10K with 43 before this game. So all those teams right there have a bigger chance and have a lead on everybody else. They can really try to capitalize, and they don't want to just give up the points by pushing a team and getting eliminated quick. So it's one of those balances, staying humble and hungry, but also very confident. And it's a tough balance for most people, but you play it smart, play strategic, you're going to get the win. There's always going to be points, right? There's going to be somebody pushing you, somebody that you run into. It happens, as you can see right now. Siren just trying to survive. I think they made the right play to push away, and they want to just find an angle to get themselves prepared for a fight instead of forcing it. And speaking of forcing it, they're healing up, but they're getting scanned by Bloodhound. Is Bloodhound still the best legend in the game when it comes to scanning? Is the question. Now that one of my favorite players, Crypto, got his buff, I'm interested to see in the near future, once everybody really gets into how Crypto can work, how he competes in the ALGS.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, one of those things you gotta, as a team, you have to question with all these updates to Crypto. Just the ability to throw your drone out and not go into it right away, just to get those scans if you do get it placed right. You know, how crucial is he going to be in the pro plays in the ALGS? I've seen him played in a couple different tournaments, and it is interesting. You don't see a lot. You do see a lot more Bloodhound. But one character that I personally would love to see more that I probably won't have in a competitive sense would be Seer, but Bloodhound is still a good, strong overall pick.
Definitely, and we just seen nonstop wall hack scans as we go, and it's a topic of conversation in the community how Bangalore has been defaulted. So many legends that can scan, she throws her smoke, and you know there's no usefulness for it during the smoke time. And you know, even top content creators complained about it, like Shiv, and he retired Bangalore from comp because he felt like she's not useful there. Too many scanners and not enough smoke to this does anything. And you know, we'll see what happens. I would want something like the smoke not being able to get scanned if you're in it, or you're scanning people officially full time, you know, stuff like that. I mean, the smoke does 10 damage when you drop it on someone, and that's kind of like the only extra effect that it has compared to like a caustic where he's damaging you, highlighting you. You know, there's a lot of little shrink things like that. And look at this, man, Siren down a player, but they are beaming with that rampage. They got to be careful. They have a team pushing up on them.
Absolutely, and Siren just getting eliminated now by Della, coming in here from a range. Two different teams, you know, trying to get that KP on these players, and it's 10K from afar. That really is just beaming with that charge rifle, being really passive, knowing that they have the points advantage. They're just gonna try and play a little bit aggressive on some of these teams that they can. Here they scanned what seems to be a solo player, so they definitely are going to be going back and playing inside of Harvester a bit more. But that charge rifle doing the damage, three stacking damage on the beam before he even blasts for another 8 or more is just so big from a distance.
For sure. And we're looking at 10K right now getting pushed. One of their players go down. Beautiful Mastiff shots here. Got to be very, very careful here. Down a player can get pushed hard. And when you're in a fight, the thing is you want to finish it within 30 to 60 seconds or less, because another team will come. They'll get aggressive. They'll try to push you while you're in that fight. That's the beautiful thing about Battle Royale. In regular shooters, you're playing and it's just one-on-one, one team versus another. In Battle Royale, you're dealing with multiple teams trying to survive diverse situations while the ring is closing. You're surviving that also. So it gets very deadly. And speaking of deadly, we're down to 6 teams at this very moment, and 10K somehow survived that situation, and now they're gearing up, preparing for the fight. We're going to rotate around and check on some teams who are hot on fire.
Absolutely. We see here Volt Rampage coming in. They have a player in front of him landing in the choke point, going towards the zone of countdown. And we might just see them start taking some shots, because it does look like a solo that is running. But he might just try to find some space and hunker down. So Vault Rampage really showcasing the importance of having a recon character too. If you were looking, anyone was looking at the map, you would see that they had the future zone prediction, so they could start their rotation and playing off of that. And that's such a key factor in these tournaments, to have a recon character that can hit those beacons, so you can start to figure out how to play these different rotations now with all these choke points in the World's Edge.
I agree, and I think we've seen a lot of different tournaments, and I mean not different tournaments, different battle royales try to create something, but I think Apex has some really unique elements that they've added tactically, and that make it more about your strategical play rather than just, hey, look at me, I can shoot. So there's so much more, that rotation that's important, so you can get into those beacons, and then that beacon will tell you where to go to end the game. And a lot of players actually study rings to find out where it's all going to end before the game even ends. That way they can be there, they can have control of their rotations, and they're going to play it their way, not be forced to, you know, improv all the time. So pretty interesting. And speaking about improv, we're looking at Reapers push the pace right now using that Bloodhound swagger. We got Gordo, the team captain, pushing in a little bit, but he's deciding to fall back. And this is one of those things where if you're not with your team, you don't want to force the issue. And right now they have a player all the way on the opposite side. Not sure if he's trying to flank them or he's just got separated during the situation. And we'll see how this one plays out, but I like it. And it is a flank, and that is Hydro that's flanking right now. And it looks like Goldo, it's a Spanish word for something offensive, for obese person is what it says. So right now he's looking around to see what's going down. Now they have the synergy again. They're back together in this building, and this is a great spot. This is the end ring, and as we were talking about, the end ring is championship level of confidence. So we'll see where that goes from here.
Absolutely, and we talk about these areas now, these zones being so crucial, and we're going to see here is Raven Reapers and Raven Academy fighting each other for the zone, for this spot. So here we see, you know, two teams from the same organization play it out, battling out, maybe get some insight, and you know, teams might just play back, keep it safe, because Reapers really do have such a great spot on this building.
Yeah, this is a keeper right here. This is going to be the championship level. The problem is, just because you're smart enough to get a position or to get rich, can you stay rich? Can you stay the champion? Can you stay the winner? And these type of situations is where you get your experience from, trying to hold a spot that you know everybody wants. And the team has to stay busy. They got to put out damage to force teams to think twice about pushing. One thing I love to see is when people test the waters and they're trying to push a team and the other team pushes back, and it makes it into a stalemate, and they both take a reset, heal up, and then you'll start to see who has the true superiority in the matches. And we're going to watch that now, because there's still 4 teams and they all have to rotate in the next 50 seconds when the ring starts closing, and it should get interesting.
Absolutely, as these zones come down to it, it's gonna be all about having the positioning, having this info on these teams. So, Gordo running around having the Bloodhound ult, using it at every corner of the building just to get that tactical off at a quicker pace, get the info needed to know where everyone is. If you're going to have a team coming up from behind you, on that side of you, or in front, it's really important to know where all of these teams are.
For sure. And it's pretty good for them, but you got to also check out the other teams on the outside here. If they have a Gibby, you can feel safe. You feel comfortable. You're like, hey, you throw whatever you want at me. I'm going to be a little bit secured. He's the only legend in the game. You have like 6 legends that can scan. You have other players who are very attack, fast-paced style players. You have variety of things that there's multiple styles within the gameplay, but there's only one Gibby. No one else has shields. No one else is being able to throw that bubble the way he does. So I'm interested in this next situation for the academy here, as they're out in the open, but they have a great spot. All they should probably do is clear out the backside, make sure they're set, and then worry about the front area so that they can take out whoever's left over. Now, the interesting part is that they might not know it. The team can rotate around behind them still. There's still enough space for them to creep in and do some type of work. So even though they have this and they're secure, they can wait it out and get their points. They want to be strategic about it. And we're going to go ahead and rotate around. And speaking of that, we're looking at Free Pal, who currently has 11 points. And they have an all-female team here with Lifeline, a rare sighting of Lifeline. I used to love Lifeline when the game first released. And she's been up and down, I would say, over and over, and I love her so much. She's a fun character to listen to's voice acting, and we'll see what happens here with Pal. They're gonna have to get aggressive in a minute because it's almost that time. And speaking of that, you see a rat with Vault Rampage just hiding out, holding their position.
Yeah, absolutely. And having this final zone here, it does some damage, as we saw. He went into the damage a little bit, got hit for a good chunk. So being on this outside, he's really gonna have to be aware on where everyone's at. Knowing when to use your boosters, because if you use them too soon, that gives away your position to a team, and this is gonna set you up for failure. So we're gonna see Vault Rampage, Christopher 909 here, just kind of slowly walk in with zone and hopefully not get spotted, as these other 3 teams all the way around here just be ready for it. And yeah, he doesn't seem to want to peek the inside and check any stragglers. He's just gonna want to get a free walk in to the zone here, and it's gonna get very tight, as we see a couple of these teams have a Gibby. So it's gonna be, as you hear, you have the Gibby air raid coming in. It's so big.
And right now we're looking at Free Pally is currently trying to survive that situation, which they just did without a Gibby. They survived it, but they're gonna have to find a rotation into that building. And again, this is where, if you have the building, you're perfectly fine. You have Reapers here willing to reap their reward, being able to take this fight and really do some work. We'll see how they can get it done right now. I like their positioning, and they're going to be able to hold this while the other teams are on the outside fighting. Now, there is a team on the opposite side of this scenario. So it's a trio situation here where you have only 3 teams left. And funny enough, it's Team Academy versus Reapers, and they're gonna have to go at it. And here it is, popping off Team Academy.
Yeah, Academy, instigating the fight with that Ash portal. There's a one-way portal that you can't take it back, but Ash getting taken down. Octane going down very quickly.
I'm liking what I'm seeing right now by Gibby being able to throw his ult and revive his teammate, this gives them a better chance to survive this scenario. Still 3 teams left out there. And right now, Academy still has a chance, but Free Pal's doing really good wiping out one of the last teams. And now it's going to be Free Pal versus the Academy. And this team is hurting right now. They're going to have to heal up right before the fight. I'm seeing the Mastiff. They're going to get some shots in from far. Nothing working for him. And Beeman here. Beautiful stuff by Free Pal. They already have this win in the bag with 2 players down. They have a chance to finish it off. And they're going to against Gibby here. Nope. He's going to survive for a second. Mastiff shots. Free Pal doing a great job in getting the win right there. Easily showcasing what it takes. And we are going to be getting you guys into game number 4 in just a little bit. As you saw, game number 3 ending right now as we speak. Hope y'all enjoying that. It's been a great time. Hope to see more of this and more of you if you enjoy what we got going on. Let's check out that replay while we talk about what is going on right now. So in this finale, Gibby found a way to revive his teammate, but it's a little too late. One of his teammates were officially all the way down, and Academy were just trying to survive this situation. Very tough situation to be in. You have 3 teams and you want to push the pace and get yourself back together. Luckily, Free Pal was busy eliminating one of those teams, and that gave the chance for Academy to try to recover, but they didn't have a lot of time because Free Pal was trying to get aggressive in this scenario and not allow Academy to heal. And this is what you saw at this end here, where Academy was already down on health trying to take a fight, and they get cleaned up pretty easily because of that. And it's looking good so far. It's been a good run. We're gonna go into game number 4 shortly. You got about 5-minute break before we begin that. But man, oh man, it is just getting started with this tournament series. All month long, you're gonna have tournaments showcasing all these teams and players as they build their name in Apex Legends. So stay with me. Speaking of stay with me, we're going to check out the leaderboards. They're currently being updated as we speak. We like to show it live. It's kind of like the, you know, you're seeing the jackpot numbers come up on screen slowly. You'll start seeing who's on top and who's not. At the moment, 10K is really dominating, and it's been a fun ride to see what they can do. They still find a way to stay up as the top guys, and I could respect that. You know, from the beginning, they set the standard and they've been able to consistently perform. But will they keep it? Will there be a team to surpass them? And I honestly do believe that you have 3 teams here that's in striking distance from that. Okay, 20 points in a game is easily possible. You have Siren, Free Pal, Mike OX. All of them are capable. So we gonna see in just a minute. We got less than 5 minutes to start this up. Hope y'all enjoy. We'll be right back in about 2. right, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially back, and it's going down right now to game 4. There's always something going on, and we'll sort out the situation. No worries for those players wondering what's happening with one of those teams. We clearing them out of the setup. But that being said, we're going to continue. We got game 4 still happening. It's going to be a good run. Grand finale. They have some teams that are pretty close to each other. 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, they're all within, I mean, all the way down to 7 and 8. They're all right there, but they're able to catch up to each other. The problem is 10K has 52 points. They're pretty much primed to win. So, should be interesting. It's going to be a fun time right now with the last game for the night, and then we're going to go from there. And thank you guys for watching. This is Core Battle Leagues. Just to warm up, getting back into the flow of casting, getting back into the flow of the qualifiers. We're going to be doing it all month long, every single week, so you can sign up at any time. We're going to try to get special guests. Like today we had B. Brad, and then we're going to be continuously building from there. So enjoy. We'll be right back in just a second. Okay, so my prediction is we're going to have a new winner on today's event, meaning that somebody that hasn't won in today's games will win this next one. It'll probably be one of the teams in the lower side getting a surprise win there. But the top teams are playing confident. They're very, very fluid. I love that type of energy, that type of focus and dedication. They're not afraid. So that to me showcases who they are, what they can do. So we're going to be watching game 4 right this very minute. Hope you guys are ready for it. This is the grand finale, and it's going to get super interesting with who has what it takes. We saw the leaderboards. If you don't remember, 10K, Siren, Free Pal are the top 3, and they do have a chance to add to their lead and continue the growth and expansion of what they got going on. And speaking of got going on, let's get a quick look the team Siren, who's in second place right now. Now, the thing is, they're down 18 points, so that's a lot. And we'll see what they can do in this situation. It'll be interesting to see how good they can perform if they're able to catch up. I don't know. This is why I don't do highest point games. I'll be honest with you guys. I like to do match point because it kind of gives a fighting chance for some teams. And the team that wins has to be the most skilled and actually win an actual battle royale game, which is very hard to do consistently. But we got our buddy B-Rad here, who plays as well, has himself a good old time, and he played in these. And what are your feelings when you're getting into these matches and competing against these guys, right?
Playing in these tournaments was an absolute nutty feeling. You know, loading into game one, the excitement, the jitters of how you don't know how teams are gonna play when it's your very first game, versus once you start playing them, now you know you start to get a feel for how everyone's gonna be playing. So you switch up how you think, how you play, how you fight, and it's absolutely wonderful to see all these teams adapt and overcome and just completely, sometimes even just come in and roll through some teams. So it's great to see 10K up on top. It's great to see Siren up there, and I think those are going to be some teams, as well as like Free Pal we saw winning the last game. It really shows how big of a change things can go.
Yeah, I got you. For me personally, you know, the way I like to check out teams is to see how they react. It's not about their gunplay specifically, you know, because that you can learn mechanically, but the game sense. It's all about your decision making. Where are you going? How are you going about it? And speaking of decision making, we have Crypto in the drone here, reviving his teammates safely. And this is one of my favorite players because you got to be smart when you play Crypto. You got to use him strategically. You have to know the game. And what I mean by that is awareness. Okay, use him to mark the beacons. See how many teams are in the vicinity. It's a 200 meter. Check how many teams are, you know, close by, ambushing them, knowing how to use it, position yourself, and then use a drone without being vulnerable and things of that nature. Could make it very interesting. So I always love when I see a Crypto. So shout out to Lou Steph here, who actually is the first time I've seen them on here. So welcome aboard and good luck out there. These guys are currently in 13th place with 4 points. So they got a big uphill battle. Some type of miracle. I don't think the math will add up for them to win, even if they killed every player in the lobby right now. There's only 9 teams left, so it'll be interesting. We'll see. And here you can see Crypto playing it smart again, trying to use his drone, and this is a fun way to play, and this is a lot of strategical play for your rotations or just trying to know when and where to push someone. You can use that ultimate. There's a lot of great elements with Crypto, and I mean, you're talking to a Crypto fanboy, so you know, smart players know how to use him. And I predicted that with his buff, that the ALGS World Champions will be a Crypto main player that will win it all. There'll be a Crypto main in there winning it this year. So we'll see. I mean, it's just a prediction, but I like the buff. I thought it was a decent one. It makes him a little easier to play, but is also pretty good in situations where you just want to throw your drone out there to mark a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we talk about Crypto being such a great player and great team-oriented character, with all the changes, being able to throw out the drone and not go right into it is such a high thing to do when it comes down to having that game sets. But we see Siren here now at Harvester taking on a fight, having Name playing down on the other side. They're kind of separated, so they do lose their Gibby, but so they move around and everything. Raven Academy getting that high ground positioning, staying on the outskirts of Fragment, going to Epi. So we'll see how the elevation changes here are going to be very big as they search for teams around the area.
Definitely that high ground in Apex, we like to call it the God spot, but basically you want to hold that God spot and then do God's work. It's what we say out here in Apex land, and definitely very possible difference maker in this scenario is all about the unity, staying together. As you can see, there is already some action going on. I want to see who's shooting at them. It's UDC, who's in 10th place with 10 points, and Academy has 19 points. So they're only 9 points away from each other. They have a uphill to climb to try to get to the number 1 spot, but it really doesn't matter sometimes. When you're in these events, you want to practice execution. You don't want to panic. You want to play within your game, execute it as best as possible so that you can do it in the future. Win or lose, you're playing like a champion, you're playing like a winner, you're playing to excel. So we'll see what happens here with Team Academy. Again, a team coming together trying to grow the Raven Clan's movement. Much respect to Raven Clan again for building so many teams and really trying to build the brand and the name.
Yeah, absolutely. Raven, having those multiple teams, it's going to be great to get their name out there. But on the back end outskirts, we're going to look over and see all these teams kind of around fighting each other. We got 10K and Harvester going at it now against Siren. It's one member left of 10K versus 2 members of Siren, so it doesn't look like they're going to be playing too aggressive. It's going to be mostly a passive time for these 2 teams now. So that's going to definitely open up some doorways maybe on some other teams to get more of those kill points as well as placements when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I got you. B-Rad in the building, guys. He's a little mellow. He gets hype though. Trust me, he usually gets real hype. I've seen him get crazy. Wow, I like his style. I just want to thank him for coming out today. This is the last game of the night. I'm gonna do a quick shout out to all the teams who came in and played already. So hype for y'all. KOD, L5, Lou Steps, BRHS, Raven, Outlaws, ODC, Reapers, Academy, FLG, Hidden Cloud, Volt, Rampage, Mike OX, Siren, and yes, I'm saying it early, guys, so we won't do it during the ending. Free Pal and 10K all in the building, getting the job done for tonight. And just to warm up, we got to get more teams, get this rolling back to where it used to be. We was getting 30-40 teams signing up for one night, and we couldn't host as many events because we only had a small group, which was myself and then Envy keeping score. So, but you never know. In the near future, build a team, make it grow, make it happen. Get B-Rad hyped and get him some possibly some hosting events in the future. You never know. But yeah, so that's what's going down. Make sure y'all tune in for the near future. Every single week we're gonna make it pop off. Want to get liver now, so we're gonna start trying to invite people and really turn this up and change some things for the community to enjoy. Speaking of enjoy, the turn up is real with this charge rifle right now. Team Siren, super aggressive. Again, I told you, this is what I love about them. They're always aggressive. There's never a time where you see these guys play passive unless it's like super necessary end game. That is the only time that they get less aggressive. And I'm loving right now this Ash right behind Gibby. Gibby's fast, guys. He's not slow. I remember when the game first released, I was checking Gibby's speed versus other players, and I always thought he was slower, but he definitely wasn't. But yeah, so with all that out of the way, let's go right now, check out the action and call the action for the rest of this game. We're going to basically call the action on this scenario. And great shots here with the R301 by Eclipse, doing a good job of flanking, pushing on the side. They end up getting one of the players down. They're trading players here. They got to be very careful. So it's a 2-on-2 scenario. And Siren getting some good shots off. It's not enough yet. They're getting hit from behind. They have to be super careful in this situation. Eclipse doing a good job putting up some work here. And I'm seeing a lot of hemlocks. It's a weapon I used to love. It used to beam and feel like it's a sleeper. And right now they're using it to put people to bed. Not sure if they're ready for what is about to happen here, but look at this.
Interesting play here by this Watson on Siren, just kind of using the lava levitation just to get back up. But we're gonna see cool. Siren play the edge of zone here. We do have a couple teams now in fragment. As well as teams on the north side, where we see Raven Reapers going ahead and fighting against the Vault Rampage team. And it's just going to be a little scuffle of asserting dominance, backing up, and yeah, just kind of hanging out, calling it out. As we get down to it, everyone's kind of spaced out around the maps. But
and we're going to watch Low Step as they continue to beam, pushing people off the hill and trying to get some work done, while their Crypto pulls his drone in further deeper on that push right there. And I kind of like it. The problem is Crypto always has to be stationary when he's in his drone, so got to be smart about that and be careful. Right now, Low Step on the low ground. Not the best position, but they're trying to make something out of nothing right now, and they're scrambling. And again, like I told you guys, even if you're losing a game, you want to play like a winner and do everything to succeed. Don't just play careless, because that can carry off. And look at this, talking about that, they get the Kraber, and man, oh man, that is always fun. The Kraber just feels so good.
Yeah, the Kraber is such a great sniper to have, especially at this stage of the game, you know, being able to get some of these head glitches. We see that the Crypto is going to scan a full team crafting here in Fragment, so the Bloodhound's going to go ahead, use the ultimate, pop off the scan, get some more info. Kraber in hand. Are we going to see any hits here? Is it going to be a peek? And a hit through the arm shield in 81. What an amazing
that
block
would scare
there.
the life out of anybody if they get hit with one of those. Especially if you're a Gibby, you got the shield, you think you're protected a little bit, and you feel that damage. Pretty good stuff here. And right now, Low Step giving us some action right now. They're down a player. Now they're going to have to figure it out. He's trying to heal, but Gibby slides in to get some shots up. They're doing a good job of using this cover to stay alive. Now it's a 1-on-3, and that is it. Beautifully done right there, and that's how it all begins, folks. Siren coming in clutch. Just when we thought we seen enough of them, we're switching over. They say, no, 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 we want to stay on screen, please. And they continue to push the pace as they've been doing throughout the tournament. That's why they're been in second and first place. Pretty interesting stuff. And
yeah,
right now, speaking of interesting, Reapers are in the thick of it, trying to survive. And I like this scenario where they put an extra shield inside to make sure that they stay alive. They're using the caustic traps to kind of force a team out. And this is that comfortable nature of a caustic.
Absolutely. Here he has traps on the doors. Teams are just, they're sitting on top of each other. They're just trying to get a little bit of door peeks here and there, but those caustic traps doing the job that they're intended to, just stopping everyone in their tracks, because no one wants to take the free caustic gas, free caustic damage. because it doesn't count towards the shields. It's all straight life. So you go down to one of those, it's just going to be game over. But we see here Nox going around on either side here for the Raven squad. It's Raven v Raven as we get into it with Reapers trying to hold the inside of the building, trying to get some of these reses off. Bloodhound skin comes through. Everyone's trading shields and resing up here, trying to get back to full health to re-peak. Since this caustic is now down and out, there's not going to be those caustic traps on those doors. So this is going to be a complete shift in how these teams fight now, because you don't have that protection from the trap. You don't have anything stopping them. They're going to go ahead and use a Bloodhound scan to only get one scan off, and it's just going to be from the team backing up, getting the ground. It's not worth taking the fight, and everyone's just gonna hold the building. Reapers doing an excellent job at just keeping that building, but they're gonna go ahead and play the backside of the zone on the slow side and on the higher side, getting this elevation advantage, getting that high ground we love to see.
Yeah, definitely. I personally think Reapers did a good job there. They lost a player. They still got his beacon, and they pushed the team back. Okay, that is a lot of things happening for a team who looked like they were about to get eliminated, but ended up surviving somehow. And now they have a chance with only one beacon that they're capable to hit and grab. And again, if they had a crypto, they could have revived their teammate from the outside of the ring by using the drone. And these little features in crypto are so critical. Have critical moments with crypto. You can do a lot of great things, and right now they're doing a good job trying to gate a team off and keep them out of the ring. And they're in it. They're deep in the ring. If they can find a portable respawn beacon, that would be perfect. But at the moment, they are in it and they're comfortable up here. They can just keep pushing teams off, making them think that there's 3 players unless they get scanned, and then wait for it, that last fight. Push that last fight. We'll see what happens here. I'm gonna be honest, this guy Goro is using my loadout. I like to rock submachine guns. I'll rock a Volt and an R99. I'll rock a R99 and a car. This is my playstyle. I'm super aggressive. I like to be in your face. It's just fun. It has nothing to do with like I want to be the world champion. It's just, hey, let's see who got it right this minute. And he has this loadout. I don't mind it. Right now there's only 3 teams left, so this is the grand finale, the finale of finales. We're gonna take a quick rotation and check out who's here. We have Siren about to push the pace. They want to get up top, but they can't, and they're doing a good job beaming and almost downing one of the players. Really good stuff by Siren. They have to be careful because there is another team and another Gibeall that's going down right now, and as you can see, Volt from up top is gonna start pushing this to try to take out one of the teams, and he's gonna be going after the Raven team above, and they might be in trouble right now. And yes, they are. Look at the chase down that's happening.
Absolutely, this chase down here, the final fights of the 3 teams. Raven down to 1 player, Siren losing 1 as well, and Volt, Rampage just holding this high ground, this mountaintop, being like, hey, we're here playing Apex, but honestly, it's time to play King of the Hill, and that's us right now as we drop down in Gibby v Gibby fight. Full teams fighting here. It's gonna be coming down to it. Siren getting eliminated from Vault Rampage, and now having the Watson ultimate still going. Is gonna get some free charges on their shields, and that also does prevent any Gibby ults from coming in, but it is just one other team, and that is Raven Reapers, who are getting a free res, but that's gonna get interrupted because of the scan from the Bloodhound, and this might just be it, the final push on this res. 1v1 with the Bloodhound.
Super hot right now to get the finale and a good way to try to close this out. It's a 2-on-3 and good shots being done from both sides. They are trapping the portal. There it is. Team Volt finishing it with a win. That was really nice of them to get that done and completing it in the best possible way for themselves. That was super interesting for Vault right there. They scored 12 kills and got first place. So that right there is 24 points, if I'm correct. And then you add what they already had, which was 24. So 24 plus 24, do the math. There's not enough because 10K still has just a little more before we finish the scores and we add them all up. But man, oh man, let's go ahead and check out that finale replay from Vault. Again, they scored 48 points from my calculations. We got to see the official scores. They had 24 before this game, then they scored another 24 in this game. And then now, you know, we'll see what they can do if they beat out 10K. 10K didn't score a lot on that last game. You know, they had a hard time. And somehow, some way, the one and only Vault coming through trying to make a name for themselves. And I've actually seen one of these players. Barton was in our tournaments a long time ago, about 7 months ago when we started this, 7 or so months. I don't remember how long ago it's been, but he was in here. So I know who that is a little bit. I've seen him play before, but they come in here, perfect timing to finish this off proper, confident, you know, one last team. They scored a bunch of points. They're ready for the finale. And it's hilarious because you're watching a lot of back and forth through the portal to just survive, but they had a player on both sides shooting and finishing it off right here by taking this Raven out perfectly. And that right there, my friends, is the finale, folks. And I just want to thank everybody for coming by. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I know I have. It's just the beginning. We're doing qualifiers again right now, all through March. So for the rest of the month, you're able to sign up for free going through our Discord. It's a free Discord, is also free, and then you can sign up from there and get involved. We're gonna give you the scores and give you the breakdowns. We just want to say farewell to our co-host who came out, put his blood, sweat, and tears into this, and did a great job today. Brad, any last final words?
Maggie, it was just super great to be here. I'm super glad to have come in and watched all of these amazing teams compete today. I appreciate, you know, the invite to come out for this event, hang out, watch, and co-host as well. It's been an absolute honor. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Hey man, thank you for coming. I'll hopefully see you again. You have a great night, and we're going to continue the night from here, folks. Everybody that's watching, we appreciate you guys and all that you do when it comes to these events, being a part of it, playing in them, you know, commentating, chatting, viewing. All of these things are essential. So your support and love is appreciated, and we want to keep that rolling and keep it going as we go forward. It's been a good time, a good time. That is it for the day. We have the scores. They're officially set, and we're about to showcase them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the official scores. 10K has dominated yet again. They made it in the finals last time, and now they're looking like they want to try to get back in there by advancing into the major. So congratulations to 10K Kings. 10 Kings is what their name officially is, and they did a good job from there. It's been a really interesting matchup with some new teams that we never saw before. And then we also had, you know, returning players and teams get in on the action as well, which I personally love. And we'll see what happens going forward from here. But that was a great run by all the teams. They gave us a show. And you see Vault coming in second place because of that last game. They had a big performance. Could have won it. They were right there, coming right back. Like I told you guys, there's always a team that will come from the bottom and come back up, like Rocky. And it's super interesting. But yeah, that being said, I appreciate everybody that's been watching. Again, man, we want to build this up. So we need you to hit me up and let's just chat, figure out what we can do to build this even further. It's a learning process. It's a growing process, and it's about us as a team. And we're going to keep on going from there. All right. So I appreciate you guys so much. And we're going to end it off very quickly today. Normally we stay on and chat, but I'm going to close it out. I want to go eat something and relax for the night, but I will be back live very soon. And I'm going to be just chopping it up. No delay on the stream, just us conversating and having a good night. Okay. So, my final thoughts. 10K is incredible, but guess what? So are so many other teams. They're not the only amazing team. Today, it was their day. They scored big. They performed well throughout the tournament. They got a big lead to start off the event, and then they just kept adding on to it. They didn't have to perform 30-point games every game. They got a 30-point game at the beginning, then they cruised along the way and ended up with 56 points. That's very difficult. I don't think you guys understand. Apex Legends is a very difficult game to win and to score in, and they did that. Then you have teams like Vault, who came out of nowhere in that last game, scored 24 points in one game. Then you had Siren consistently being aggressive, always staying in the top 3 throughout the tournament. There was a ton of different elements that happened today that I really loved, and I respect all those teams for that. And that's what we want to see here: professionalism, amazing performances, and of course, just good times. So we're going to see you again. We most likely are going to be putting an event on Thursday and Sunday so that y'all can go ahead and be a part of this movement that we have going on. It's been a pleasure. I am your host. You can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on TikTok. Can you believe it? Yeah, so we got TikTok. We got all of it just to chat and to have a good night together as one. So feel free to get on board and rock with us as we continue to build this movement for you, by you, with you. All right. So we want to have community events for teams to kind of pay tribute to them. We want to have new casters and special guests come on every single week. It's consistently, the more we have, the better we are. So come on board, get on board. This is the welcoming train. All right. Peace and love. I love you guys. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm going to stream in a couple hours, just a personal time, just to hang out and talk. All right. Peace.